Hi everyone. So I need to figure out a new little catchphrase or like welcome greeting thing. So we had some technical difficulties last week and this week. And basically I can't live stream. I don't know what's going on. But I'm gonna hopefully figure it out here pretty soon. Anyway, we have some stuff to talk about. So, first things first, everyone say, I always do that, say hi to Grandma. Hi, Grandma. Love you. And Jackson. Oh, you can't see him. He's over there. Sorry. It's not in frame. Jackson is going to be part of the show today. That's okay. All right. So, whirlwind of things have happened. That happened, but happened. Obviously, but a lot's gone on. So we are going to start with Halloween. Wait, are there any birthdays? First, yes. First things first. After saying hi to Grandma. Yesterday was one of my dearest friend's birthdays, so happy birthday, Zara. Happy birthday. She's been an amazing friend to me. Somebody I was not really sure of getting to know at first, just because that's how I am. But she's become an amazing friend to me, and she's been there through random times, obviously, and she's been there through the most difficult time of my life and the happiest. So much love to Zara today. Yesterday. Today too. Happy birthday, Zara. We love you. Okay. So, last week, which I really wanted to talk to you guys right then, or that week, and then something happened. Please forgive the beeping out there. But stuff happened. Anyway, okay. So I don't really remember what my post was about. I guess I'd have to look back at it, but I made a comment. I remember. I was watching the History Channel, and they had a thing about how Halloween came to be and, all that kind of stuff. Forgive me if my eyes droop a little bit. I'm super tired. But anyway, and they had a lot of things in there about Christians that were incorrect. And so I mentioned something about it. And long story short is, I have friends who obviously, we don't all believe the same way necessarily. Some of us have a similar belief, but we believe it in different ways, just all kinds of different things. And I am proud to say that I have friends who can talk like adults about differences. That's what I want to say first and foremost about that. Sorry, I like every hair in place. I definitely want to mention that first, because they say two things you don't talk about is politics and religion. Well, I don't speak religion, obviously, because I speak about a relationship when it comes to me. If we're talking religion, that's something else. But this specifically is what I'm talking about. But the friends that I have, the ones that have, that it joined in on this conversation, I have to say kudos to you guys. And I don't know if you've ever been able to discuss things like this before with other people, but high fives all around. We were able to get through a discussion of what we believe and listen to each other about other beliefs and how one does this and one thinks this, and all of that, without fighting, without arguing. It was literally a discussion. And I'm sorry, but it's been a long time since I don't know if I've ever had a conversation with someone like that. It's beyond me. So I am just floored by that. I have awesome friends who respect my beliefs, who aren't putting me down because of mine differing from them, or they just are completely the opposite, or one doesn't believe. Not many people have that in life. I have a few friends, I have people, because they're outside of just friendships, but who are not really, I don't know, they're not really around very much anymore. I've said this before, but when you decide to take this walk with Jesus, you have to be prepared. Many people think that it's going to be all rainbows and, cotton candy and like just all happiness all the time. And I have to let you know that in here, for sure, my heart is completely like overfilled with love, and it's at peace. Yes. But that doesn't mean that everything is perfect. As you take your walk, as you begin your walk, before you begin your walk, we're warned. I mean, not in the fact of warning as don't do this, but more along the lines of this is just so you know, FYI, this comes with this territory, so you have to be ready. And part of that is just scrutiny, losing people along the way, you're at war. It's not a war that, one, it's not a war that you lose. Let's start there. But it's not a war that, it's not against anyone else. It's not against the people who leave you. It's a battle with your soul. Am I strong enough to understand that even if I don't have anybody else in my life, I've got Jesus. And at the end of the day, He's all I really need. Am I strong enough to be able to hold on to that? And if I'm not, do I have enough faith in me to understand that He is strong enough for that He can get me through it? And sometimes, we are, and then there's times when we are not, and, we fall, we forget, we lose hope, because it's normal. It's a human thing, it's emotion and whatnot. And then there's times where, Satan wants to come in and in your ear, and you're going back and forth. And you have to tell yourself, this is part of it. This is my walk. And sorry, this is really bothering me. This is my walk, and this is what it takes. I could lose anything, everything, and everyone. But I can still move on. I can still move forward. I can still spread His love. I can still spread the Word of God as He wants me to do. I don't need anybody with me to do it. Hey, far as I'm concerned, I want to see grandma again, and I want to hang out with Jesus. If you're not on that little boat with me, well, move out of the way, because that's where I'm going. And like I said, if you're not on it, well, then hey, that's your choice. Plain and simple. It's sad, when people in your life, when they leave you for reasons like that, it's sad. It hurts. Of course it hurts. You love these people. I don't see it so much as a reflection on who I am, but more along the lines of who they are. I've heard this, and I never really understood it until I actually have gone through it now, but there are some people who will tell you, that they respect your decision and they respect your beliefs and so on. And then, like this back here, or they just stop talking to you altogether. Or, it's very minimal if they do. And looks like my head is shaved on this side. Sorry. And I've heard, I'm going to say I've heard, because I don't want to call anyone out. I've also seen it. Anyway. Some people who are battling, with themselves and wanting to be with God and wanting to take this walk with Jesus, but are struggling with the fact of, I don't know how, I don't know what to, I don't want to give this up, and the things that we struggle with, tend to keep themselves from those who have. We all know, you've seen all the videos, you've interacted with me in some way. You guys know I am the furthest thing from being judgmental or trying to push what I am on anyone else. I didn't like it when it was done to me, especially because I felt like I knew it all. Anyway, it's another story for another time. But because I've been down that road, I've seen what it does to people. It doesn't bring you closer to anything. It just pushes you away. So I'm the furthest thing from doing that. And my life has always been dedicated to God. Not the way it is now. Before it was more along the lines of, I just know what I'm supposed to do and I know this is how I'm supposed to live, so I did it. With mistakes here and there. But essentially, my life has always been about this. But I think that for some people, visual people, when they see you take that step, when they see that you've done what you said you're going to do, you locked in key, it becomes a reality to them, and they feel like when you're with them that you're going to be watching them, you're going to be judging them, you're going to be more along the lines, like I said, not about you, but more about themselves, that they feel you're going to be seeing something in them that they don't want to face, so they tend to just kind of back away, take their time and whatnot. See you when they have to, or when they feel obligated, or whatever. And if there's anyone out there that feels that way, like that you're on that end of it, listen, we don't do that. You've probably got some people in your life who do that, but that's because they're feeling the same way you are. But they think, not here, they think that they've got it all figured out. Don't let those people ruin what you got going on, okay? Don't. Jesus is not here to condemn you. He came to save you. You're going to do bad things. It's going to happen. Not that you should. Okay? Not that you should sin, and not that, no, not that you should. But it's going to happen. It will happen. I mean, we're human. We came here full of sin. When you give your life over, your life is about, it's your heart's intention. And that's what he's looking at. That's what he's looking at. He's not looking at, these just awful deeds that you're doing. Nothing like that. I mean, some of them may not even be awful. He's not what he's doing. And that's not what we do. No. We are looking at, I'm looking at I just want to hang out, just nothing has changed in me to the point where it changes friendships. Or where it should change friendships, that's what I should say. Some have, but it was kind of out of my control. But that's okay. I mean, he knows what's going on. He'll figure it out. Until then, I'm not going to worry about it. But point is that if you have people like this in your life, where seeing them take that step puts you in a position where you just feel a little off, a little awkward around them, don't talk to them. That you're going to find that they are going to look at you with such a different light now. Where even, let's say you even thought they were judgmental before, the peace that's in their heart takes it away. It's it's just almost non-existent, to be very honest. But also, just not just the fact that, their heart is at peace, but they're your friends and they care about you, or they're your family and they care about you. Talk to them. They want you to be comfortable because you're in their life, and we are all taught to love each other. And so, I just would encourage you very much so to talk to them and let them know how you feel. Have a discussion about it, always. Having a discussion about these things will always do more good than bad. So, there you go. On the other hand, if you are the person who has taken this step, don't be judgmental. Please. Okay? Because you're not teaching them anything. All you're doing is pushing them away. Okay? Okay. Let's talk a little bit about sin again, just so we can have a refresher course. The sin is there, and we have to understand it. We've been through it, we've done it, and we've been forgiven for it. Okay? So, and it's probably going to happen again. I will tell you, I have seen, and I struggle with it a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to lie. Yeah. But I have an issue when I see Christians do certain things, because I feel like when you decide to take that walk, you are supposed to be a representative of Jesus. You are supposed to walk his walk. You're supposed to be as Jesus is. We're not without sin, so that part obviously is a little different. But you do strive to be that way. So for me, like I said before, I don't cuss and I don't drink and I don't do I just don't do these things. Before, because you're not supposed to, so I just didn't. But now I don't do them for 3 reasons. Because you're not supposed to do it, or you shouldn't do it. Because my heart doesn't want to do it, and because Jesus didn't do these things. And if I am a representative of him, and I am the only thing that someone may see to understand who he was, then if I'm out here just cussing at people for whatever reason, getting, so angry that I don't know, do something ridiculous, that I call this person that, or I talk about this person this way, or whatever it is, what am I showing those who are looking to me to understand who he is? And that's just kind of how I see it. And that's what I'm saying is about where I struggle, because I do still see people who call themselves Christians who have said that they've been, they've had that moment, and then think that it's okay to sin. I'm not judging them, for the record. That's not what I'm doing. But what I'm looking at is, I'm looking at them like, if you were to bring another human being, another soul to Jesus, I mean, yeah, there's, you want them to understand that it's not about, this, but at the same time, you have to understand there's a way to explain it to a person so that you're not like this, but they still understand the meaning of it. And to me, monkey see, monkey do. I talk the talk and I walk the walk. I don't know. Maybe that's because I am a visual person and I do have to learn by doing, and I have to learn by seeing. Being dyslexic, that is a big part of, my life, is learning things that way. So maybe that's why I associate it that way. And I'm not saying that anybody else does anything else the other way or whatever is wrong and yada yada. I mean, okay, listen, let me be very honest. I feel like if I'm going to learn from someone and I can't read the Bible, or I don't have time, because we all need to make time, but I can't understand it, or whatever the case is, there's a reason I'm not reading the Bible, but I'd rather watch somebody and see it for myself, then why wouldn't I follow the person who shows mercy, who shows love and peace and grace in what they do? I want a better connection with Jesus. So, okay, I've watched the Bible series on TV, own the DVD, can't wait for Son of God to come out. So I've watched these. I've watched Passion of the Christ. So yeah, I've seen it, but I've never encountered it. And I think that's why I've had, it's not an easy road, not by far. But I think that's why I've been able to understand it so well, because Grandma, listen, it's not blasphemous, because I don't mean it in that way, but she was my reality of Jesus. She is what I followed. She is what gave me that connection. She is what gave me just the visualization of what it would have been like to live with Jesus. And it's because she didn't do those things. I remember one time, well, no, it happened a couple times, but my uncle made my grandma so mad. I don't remember what it was he was doing, but it was something that she was just tired of talking to him about, tired of yelling at him. And he is a mental disability, so just so everyone understands. And she was just so mad, and she said, "Damn!" Forgive me. And she got so mad at him for making her cuss. Okay? Larry made me cuss. Look what you did. She gets so mad about it. And it happened, like I said, it happened a couple times. I mean, that's what she did. That's how she was. That's how important it was to her to show me who he was. That's how important it was for her to walk the same walk, to be as much like Christ as she could, so that I would know, so that everyone around her would know. We had a lot of addicts around, among other, types of people that would come around, and I wouldn't imagine any of them had ever picked up a Bible, looked at one, maybe even seen one, I don't know. But their faith, they, deists, I guess, believe that God is there, but believe all kinds of stuff. And she was the only thing that they knew that was anything close to who Jesus was, or is, I should say. And because of her, people's lives have been changed. Families are closer than they ever have been or had been before. And that says a lot in itself. Last week, my brother and I went up to Shingle Springs, where she's from, and just right before Placerville. And we were just driving because I just wanted to take some pictures in the area of me and my brother, or my brother and I, and just for her. It was her 6-month anniversary, and I don't know if I talked about this already. Sorry if I'm repeating it, but we were just driving. We just picked this road that looked like it went up into this mountain, and we just drove for a while, looked to see. My brother's a photographer, so he wanted to take some pictures of, the scenery and whatnot. And we went way far out into the middle of nothing, like where we're just in foothills now. And so we turned around and went back, and we thought that we might see their farm that she used to live on, but we didn't. And all of a sudden, here we go, we're driving, and my brother just stops in the middle of the road. And the road was like this big, so only one car could fit on it at a time. And he's like, "That's it." "What's it? What are you talking about?" "Right here? Right over there?" He's like, "No, over here." And we look over, and it's a winery. And so we pull in, and as soon as we pull in, like, I felt the same feeling I felt at the baptism before I started to walk. And I knew we were right where we were supposed to be. And we got out, and this man pulled in, and my brother is all afraid, like we're not supposed to be there. I'm like, "It's a winery. It's business. We can be here." So we told him why we were there, and we were just wanted to look around, take a couple pictures or whatever. He was a really nice man. Well, then he gets out, and this dog comes running over to me and wants to play fetch. And she's the cutest little thing. I don't remember what type of dog she is, but she's cute. She's a bigger, medium-sized dog, or large to medium. Anyway, and he got out, and he started talking to us, and basically verified everything that, that they lived there, and how long ago and whatnot. And it was so interesting, because when we left, my brother was like, "Yeah, that had to have been Grandma. Only Grandma could have told me that was it." And I said, "Yeah, because I've never been here. We've driven around here, but I was like 12, so I would never have remembered." And it was amazing, because even he remembered her. And they lived there in like the 20s, 30s, so it was years. Obviously, decades. Almost a millennium. Okay. Anyway, and I forgot my point in that, but it was an awesome trip. Okay, back to whatever it was I was talking about. Sorry. But I think that it's important for us to remember that even though Jesus came and he died for us on the cross because to save us from our sins so that we didn't have to suffer this, we have to understand the fact that if they weren't so bad, then he wouldn't have had to suffer for it. And we need to remember that. We need to understand that. If it was so bad that he had to do it, would you want to do it so much that God should have to send him to do it again? Think of that. Think of that through. You know, I'm not saying that's the case, obviously. But if you put it into that perspective, it's like, man, I could prevent that just from being a good person. Not a good person. Wrong word. Hold on. Let's go back. I could keep that from happening if I just felt him and I just thought about that. He died for me, so why would I do it again? Why would I want to do? Why would my heart want to do that so that him going through that meant nothing? Because when you sin on purpose, when the intent in your heart is to sin, you're slapping him in the face. That's what you're doing. Okay? Now, that may not be popular with everybody, all right? But it's the truth. I mean, sinning and struggling with the thought of it, in here it's not your intention to do it for any other reason. Things happen. That's one thing. But when you set out to do things that are sinful, you want to do it because it's a sin. Because there are people that do that. That's the point. That's at that moment, is what you're doing. You're telling him, oh, and? Okay. No. Anyway. So, my point to that is, we take things for granted, obviously. But it's things like this that really that are worth sitting down and thinking about. Looks like my eyebrow is almost gone on this side. It's weird. Sorry. Look at Jackson. Sorry. Look at him. Look at how he looks at her. Every time I hang that blanket up, that's what he does. I wonder if she's here watching. Is she here, Jackson? Yeah? Okay, so let me get this right then. Because gotta make Grandma proud. But anyway, I'm sorry. Let me just... Okay. We are the church. We are his church. We are the ones who show others who he is. And it's hard to do that when we are when we know things are wrong and then we still do them. Just because. Okay? That's what I'm saying. It's not worth it. When you give your life over, it's for you to be like, okay, I'm ready to do this, right? I'm ready. Like, okay, hold on. Let me stop. I don't know how it was for anyone else. For me, as soon as this changed, oh man, everything changed for me. My whole outlook, like, I got excited when I would think about him, when I would think what I could do for him. All of the ears that could hear what I have to say, that may do something for their life that may just bring them to Jesus. It's an amazing feeling. It like jolts your bones. I mean, like I said, I don't know about anybody else, but that's how I feel. It like runs through me. And I just, gosh, there's like no better feeling. And it like gets you choked up right here, like you can't take in that breath. If I'm going to. Because I was talking too much. Sorry. Anyway, my bad. But it does. No, I mean, honestly, honest to you, I feel like invigorated. I feel charged up. Like, I used to get that feeling when anything that detoured me from doing something. So if I felt that I was being defeated at something, or if this one did it, when I felt like there were people against me, it just made me go out and do something to make me feel like I was better than someone, or like, you need to look up to me. Like, that's how I used to feel, and those things used to make me they used to make me go out and go after my goals. But now I don't even care about that stuff anymore. Now it's when I think about all the things that I can do for him, not for me. What I do for him will come back to me. It doesn't even make a difference. Because in the very end, when it's all said and done, I'll have everything I've ever wanted. And at the very least, which is the utmost, I'll be with Grandma. And I'll be, hanging out with Jesus. We'll be, talking about life and feeling his loving arms around me physically, not just I can feel his embrace, but I mean to actually have those arms around you. Oh man, that's what does it. That is what makes me feel like I don't need to be the person that I used to be. I don't need to cuss to make my point. I don't need to lie for any reason. I don't need... The only reason that... I can't think of any reason to lie. I really can't. I really can't. No. Can't. Nope. No good reason. I don't need to steal. Not that I do, but I don't need to. Like, it's just these things that happen that are kind of common because it's just become part of, life. That I don't need to do because of that feeling. It's almost like I feel like I got a quota, right? I mean, not really, but like, the more people that you get to, the more happy people there will be in the world. The more people will hear his name. So, the conversation was about Christians and how they celebrate Halloween. So, I celebrate Halloween. It's fun. And I don't mean I'm out doing seances. No, I mean, it's fun to dress up. It's fun to take your kids trick-or-treating. And it's fun to just be with family. That's what I mean. I love makeup. So, yeah, I like Halloween because I get to do my face all weird. Or pretty. Or like a character. Or, That's it, people. That's all Halloween has become. Now, if you're out there doing seances, you're trying to raise the dead, and you're like, all this and that, that's a totally different story. Okay? Don't recommend that. But people have a very big misconception on Catholics being Christian and calling Catholics Christian, which is basically what this TV show did. They confused the two. And so we had a long discussion about, it started off as just kind of going back and forth on what Christians actually believe and what is actually a Christian and this is not a Christian, back and forth. Anyway, long story. But by the end of the conversation, through more than half of it, it wasn't about Halloween. No, we were all talking about Jesus. I don't care where it started. My intention was, not for what it became. I don't care what it was about. Could have cared less. We were all, by the end of the conversation, talking about Jesus. And whether or not anybody else paid attention to it, I don't know. But the fact that we're saying his name, the fact that we are declaring who he is and what he did for us and why, I don't care what the whole conversation was about or how it started, why it started. Because at the end of the day, it was about Jesus. And that's all that ever matters. Ever. I want to share something with you guys. Yesterday, I ran into this woman who used to work for us. She does interpreter services and things. She works for a marketing company now. But she and I we didn't really talk much unless it was about certain little things at work. But a hello here and there. But I've probably seen her more outside of work since she left than I did when she was working. I actually saw her at church one night. I had no idea that she was Christian or that she went to that church or anything. So it was interesting. It was nice. And then last night I was at the grocery store when I wanted to go to Walmart because it would be cheaper. And then I thought, I just don't want to deal with it because I'll get into Walmart and then I'll want to buy a bunch of stuff that I don't need. Because I always do that. And so I'm like, I'll forget it. I'll just go to the grocery store that's closer to the house and that's it. I'm almost all finished. And then I decide I need tomatoes. So I go get the tomatoes. And if you know me, then you know I am very much to myself. And I don't pay attention to anything around me if I can help it. So I'm trying to get these tomatoes. And I hear somebody say something. That's all I hear. I played it back in my head, looked over, and she said, oh, first at church and now here. And I looked over and it was her. And I was like, oh, okay. I just wanted to go home. It's kind of hungry and tired. So anyway, we stood in the produce section and talked about Jesus for 2 hours. And there were people coming by, walking by, listening to us, smiling at us and things. And it was interesting. And I'm going to share a story with you because she's so funny. So the night that I saw her at church, see, we have at Bayside, we do our offering, like any other church. And then at the exits, there are care boxes where you can leave an extra donation if you want to. And the care boxes go to the to like families that need help paying a bill or whatnot throughout the month. So, you can donate again if you want to. When she had $10 that she was going to give to it, But then the $10 was originally to go to the dollar store to go buy some stuff or whatever. And so she had been struggling with it and was like, I really want to go to the dollar store, and it's $10. And anyway, and that's when I saw her. And so after she was done talking to me, she decided to not do it and go to the grocery store. Go to the dollar store. And apparently what she did was she went to the dollar store, she got her 10 things, took her bag, and had on the her list was on her iPad. She set the iPad down, grabbed her bags, looked at the iPad, and just walked off, and it was gone, left. She called and called and called. iPad was gone. She checked the video camera. As she's leaving, she can see herself looking at the iPad as she just walks away and just leaves it there. And she's been telling herself, should have just given the $10 in the box like you're supposed to. So she manually shut everything off, the Wi-Fi, the iPad, everything. So there was no way for Apple to be able to find it. She did everything she could. She called everywhere that she could, anywhere she could think of in order to find it. No way for her to find it. So she had a little conversation with God, apparently. And he was basically like, told you so. She didn't say that, but anyway. And so, she tried and tried and tried everything she could to get it back. The iPad was gone. So she said one day he told her, log into your iCloud and just log in. She's like, for what? I can't do anything with it. But she did. And an address came up. She called Apple and they're like, there's no way. That's not possible. Maybe you were there before. Maybe it's an old address or whatever. Well, she wasn't taking that. So she called the police of where it was located. But they didn't have time, or I don't know what it was. Something, but they wouldn't do anything. Because they're not, anybody who's had a phone or something stolen like that and you're able to locate it, you all know the police will just take you over there. They'll ask, and that's it. That's as far as it goes. So it really does nothing. Well, she called another town, another sub-city, and they went with her to go get it. Police went in, told everyone to get down on the ground, got the iPad and the SIM card out of the garbage. She found her iPad. After she was told, well, this is what she said. So she said that as she was doing that God told her, you need to go ask 10 people for $10. And she did. She's, like I said, she works in marketing, so she meets a lot of people or whatnot. And to tell them what happened. She got her iPad back and her SIM card and raised almost $200, I think it was. No, 10 people, so $2,000. Sorry, my math is off a little bit. $2,000 for donations. I don't know about anybody else, but I love these testimonies. She had a ton of other things going on. And other things that she was telling me about that really brought her to Christ and whatnot, and that's just things, just revelations that she's seen, and the different ways that he's shown himself to her. And it's amazing. I don't care what you believe. The woman has her iPad back, okay? And we all know that it doesn't happen that easy, okay, when you lose those things and somebody steals them. So, and it's not a new one. She didn't go out and buy a new one, just for the record. But it's absolutely amazing. And while we were standing there, she wasn't She wasn't working with us when I got baptized. She came in a couple times when Grandma was sick, and then after she passed away. But so we talked a little bit, told her our story, told her about the baptism, and then we talked about the rapture. And it was so funny because even though I never intended on going there, I did. And apparently she was supposed to be there the day before to pick up her prescription, but forgot and ended up, it was too late to go pick it up, so she had to come pick it up to that day. So it all worked out. And there we were. And as we talked, I mentioned to her about wanting to go to ministry school, Bible college, whatever you want to call it. But it just being too difficult, it's just too expensive, and I'll never be able to afford it. And not for sure yet, but we'll see. But it looks like she might be able to make that happen. And I just cannot tell you what it felt like. Because it was really the last thing that I told Grandma, that's what I wanted to do, and that I was going to do it. And it's like they're making it happen. Hopefully. I mean, I have faith, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. But by the end of the conversation, we were walking out, and she was like, I'm so glad I forgot my prescription because I had faith, but you've given me so much more faith tonight that I don't even know what to do with it. And that's what I want. I don't care if you're a non-believer, you become a believer. I don't care if you're already a believer, and whatever I've gone through, or I've been able to say, or something that I've been able to give, that was bad, is enough to give you something. That alone gives me the warmest feeling possible. I got in the car and I was just, I was at a loss for words, kind of. She's facing some very, very trying times coming up for her. And just to be able to give that to her, whether or not it was my intention or just because we were just talking. That's what it's about. Giving somebody the faith, the courage, the hope that Jesus is always there, that He will always come through. I may not round this one out the way I thought I was going to, but I forgot those two. I'm lost here. But the point is clear. I definitely can do all things through Christ, because He does so much more than just strengthen me. Obviously, I ad-libbed there. Okay, so I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But my soul feels like it deserves like more. I want to accentuate that for you. Anyone who has been around in my life long enough knows this has been part of my life. But they can tell you how much has changed me for the better. I am I am a very loyal person. Robin taught me that. And I'm a very determined, very passionate person about everything. And a lot of people can tell you that too, because it gets on their nerves sometimes, but I don't really care. Because that's me. And the Pisces in me, that's just who we are. You know, I, because I need to only talk about myself here. I feed off of that. And there's just no better feeling for me. No better feeling for me than when I'm doing his work. I mean, as a personal gift, I guess, reward, all I need is knowing that I do it for him. Not just because I want to go to heaven. Obviously, everyone wants to go to heaven. But I want to go to heaven because I want to meet him. Physically, eye to eye. I want to see him. I want to feel that embrace. And I miss Grandma. I mean, who doesn't miss that woman? She's nutty. She's so nutty, right? We all know. Grandma even knew. In the hospital, she's like, I'm nutty. But I'm really nutty right now. She had, a little bit of morphine or whatever. And she was really feeling it. Yeah, she was. And she was liking it at first. And then she didn't like it anymore. But that first little, woo. Yeah, she was a riot, let me tell you. Look at my baby. Look at him. That's right. Stretch it out, love. But anyway, those are the things that, that's what does it. That's what gets me going. That's what gets my heart racing. And I don't know. It's awesome. It's just awesome. I really don't know anything else that makes me more excited. I really don't. Yeah. It does. Jackson is looking at me like, it's time to stop, Mom. It's time to quit. But I can't. It's so awesome talking about it. That kind of awesome. For real. Promise. Anyway. Okay, so it is time to go. I just want to share him with everyone. And I don't even need to. Because he's with you. You just got to say, hey, let's do this. That's right. That's all you got to say. Just tell him, I'm ready. Let's get this going and let him in. Open up that heart. Open it up. That's all he's waiting for you to do. Call out. I can't do this. I'm a mess. I need fixing. Fix it. Fix it. And if you really, really want him to, he's going to. He will fix you. And whether you think you don't need fixing, if you think you don't need fixing, you definitely need fixing. Okay? Just saying. Nobody's perfect. Sometimes. But not all the time, which means you're not. Because he makes you feel perfect. Even at the most, the deepest part of your life, he can still make you feel perfect. So if you don't want that, then, hey, then do what you got to do. But I need that. I need that feeling, because sometimes, just saying, sometimes you need it, okay? I need it all the time. I need it a lot. Because you just do. Because I love him. I love him. All right, everyone. I'm going to stop rambling, because that's what I'm doing now. My hair is not cooperating with me anymore, and I need to take a shower. Take a bath, because I have sciatica. Even though a bath doesn't even do anything for it, which is awful, because it's the most awful feeling. I don't know if anybody has it. But listen, if you could pray for me, okay, for it to go away, because I've been praying. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, I am just saying, pray for that to go away, because I have been too. But it's awful, and nothing makes it feel better. They tell you to stretch. Those stretches don't feel better at all. Makes it burn. I don't like that. No. Okay, I'm really going now, because I'm hungry. I need to eat. Made Grandma's beef stew. Oh, I should show you. I should show you guys Grandma's little ornaments. It's okay next time. All right, everyone. So I will see you next week. Hopefully it'll be a live stream. If not, then I'll just make another video, because it's what we got to do. So we'll just do it that way. And I will have updates for you. And it's not coming yet, but I am telling you, I'm going to have a contest of some kind. So to let you know what the title of the book is. That's right, because I do have the title. The title is done. It is set in stone. That's it. That's all. And I just got to figure out when I want to let it go. Second thing is Son of God is coming to theaters February 28th. My birthday. So definitely go see it. It's been 10 years since Passion of the Christ was released, and it's definitely time. Well, it's always time, but time to get out there. Jesus is back on the main screen, the big screen, main screen, that one too, yeah. And it's definitely time for a new generation to see him. Oh, and the History Channel is going to be replaying the Bible series starting November 11th. I think it is. Check the History Channel. Maybe A&E too. I think a couple stations are doing it, or maybe it's just, I don't know. Anyway, check with the History Channel, because they will be starting on November 11th, I think, on Veterans Day. That seems like a weird day. Maybe it's I don't know. Check your local listings, okay? And if you don't already own it, definitely go get it. Watch it while you read alongside with your Bible. It's amazing, people. It's amazing. It's awesome TV. All right. I will see you guys next week. And until then, go get your Bibles out. Something's going on. You don't understand what's going on. You don't know what to do with it. And you're talking, but you can't feel like you got any answers. Open that Bible. Just go like this. He's going to give you answers, okay? So, do that. Do that. It works. Works for me all the time. So, alright. I'm really going now. So, I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.